All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checkered TV. Tonight we have the Area 51 Racing League Indy Series here at Phoenix. Going to be 100 laps here, and these drivers putting down some about 19, low 19-second laps here in qualifying. So, if they stay green, this will be a pretty quick race here tonight at Phoenix. Again, last week was our halfway point in the season. In my opinion, also the toughest stretch that they've got right now, going from Watkins Glen to Dover to Phoenix. Those are definitely three challenging tracks that they had to kind of navigate. That they're going to have to navigate through these past 2 weeks, and of course now this week. However, you see in the point settings, though, leading the way here is that number 83 of Jack Walls is currently showing as our points leader. So he is just 18 points though ahead of Eric Schau, so a lot can change there. Especially at a track like this, as we mentioned, it's going to be kind of similar to Dover. I feel like in the sense of it's going to be tough to pass. I think will be a lot more opportunities though here at Dover though, or at Phoenix though, than Dover. There we go. So you see though, in third place is Charles Johnson as well. In fourth, Craig Forsyth. Fifth, Roy Wheeler. Right now, those top two have kind of snuck away. I mean, obviously it's still too soon to tell who's going to wind up where in the point standings, but Jack Wells, Eric Schau's definitely in a pretty good position here going into this one. We'll see obviously how the qualifying kind of reflects where they're going to start this evening, because that's also going to be extremely critical, I think, for their chances here tonight. Alright, just under a minute remaining left in qualifying. Looks like no other takers at the moment. Looks like we're going to have a few drivers decide to probably start from the pits here this evening. I think they're going to kind of take this one a little easy to start off and then try to make their gains as the run progresses. Because I'll say this is definitely a track where things are going to happen fast, so they'll have to be kind of on their toes and kind of expect the unexpected here at Phoenix. You never know. We saw last week at Dover, had some yellows early, but then we had that long green flag run and that trapped a few drivers a lap down. It really affected the outcome of the race, so they're going to have to kind of be prepared for anything here with Phoenix Raceway. So it's going to be exciting one. Definitely looking forward to it, and I hope you all enjoy the show that they put on tonight. Alright, with that, qualifying has completed. See, sitting on the pole position here is going to be that number 72 of Eric Schaus. It's going to be exactly what he needs to try to chase down the points leader, Jack Walls. You see Jack there in the 6th position. However, I say Jack's going to have to work his way through the field a little bit. Second is Bud Steele. Third, Corey Lane. Fourth is David Leclerc. Fifth is Charles Teed. Sixth, as we mentioned, is Jack Walls. Seventh is, so I'm going to butcher this last name, Nicholas, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. I'm going to say Nicholas Nook. I'm not sure how to pronounce the W there. And then 8th is Todd Merkel. In 9th, you have Craig Forsyth. Gary Corley rounds out the top 10. You have Michael Spell, Jerry Kaczynski, James Ledford, Charles Johnson, Dwight Plush, and Jim Brooks. And the remainder of the field here, you have Jason Bridges, Roy Wheeler, Benjamin Combs, John Brill, and Ryan Wachter. Those are our drivers. So we'll have 21 drivers taking the grid this evening here at Phoenix. See the field's all gridded up here, ready to roll, just waiting for everybody to get joined in. And then we'll get things underway again. Scheduled 100 laps tonight at Phoenix. So again, hope you're all having a wonderful evening. It looks like the pace car is just about to roll off, and we will get things underway in just a moment. So we'll see if they go around one more time. I'm not sure. Sometimes they have 2 pace laps for the short tracks. So we'll see if they go around one more time here. Nope. That being said, pace car is in. So it's going to put it into the hands of Eric Schaus and Bud Steele. Again, 100 laps here at Phoenix. Wait for that green flag to fly, and then we will get things underway. And they are up and off. I say Eric Schaus there leading Bud Steele into turn number 1. Bud's going to probably try to get to that bottom as quick as possible here. So again, that's going to be definitely what you need to do here, is to kind of protect your track position. And it looks like Bud's going to get that done here as they go into turn 3. We've seen Bud's wasting no time. He's right on the back bumper. You see there in 1 and 2, though, he's going to take that top groove. Let's say kind of running the outside line there, trying to stay out of the dirty air of that 72. So I think that's the strategy you see right here from that 6 car, and he's doing a really good job of. He gets a big run off of the after turn 4, actually stays in line with the 72. I kind of thought that'd be a perfect opportunity to make a move there. However, that last time by, I say Bud Steele does put down the fastest lap of the race. However, Eric Schaus is going to hang on to the lead here. So right now that 72 and the 6 kind of trading fastest laps. Last time around it was Bud. This time it was Eric Schaus. And you can see Eric starting to stretch the gap just a little bit over Bud. So everybody's pretty evenly spaced right now between that 72. Then you see the 6. In third is that 50 of David Leclerc. He's right there as well. Again, another quick lap for that number 72 of Eric Schaus. And then behind David Leclerc is Corey Lane in the number 10. So he's showing in the 4th position. And then it's actually a pretty close battle here for a 5th between that 27 of Charles Teed. He's got Jack Wells right behind him there. That is a battle for that top 5 position here. So right now, not a ton of movement around the pack. Looks like we actually might have a pretty good battle here. Yeah, with Todd Merkel there on the inside. I believe that is... Let's say it's Gary Corley, I believe, yeah, on the outside there. I say it looks like Gary's going to grab that spot, though, so I'll move Gary into the top 10. I say now Todd's got his hands full with the 88 of Michael Spell, 76 of Jim Brooks. It's like Jim's going to try to see if he can make the outside work here through 3 and 4. He's able to use that to get around Michael Spell. So it looks like he's going to use the momentum as well to get around the 81 of Todd Merkel. So that 76 car using the momentum there through 3 and 4 to grab that, grab those 2 spots actually, and then move up into 11th. So I actually just noticed Bud Steele just dropped a couple spots, and it looks like he's actually kind of under attack here. They're going to try to get a closer look at his car. Don't see any damage, but definitely looks to be off the pace right now. He's been giving up spots here. David Leclerc's up to 2nd now. Corey Lane 3rd. He's just saw Charles Teed and Charles Teed and Jack Walls get around him. So yeah, so something's going on with that number 6 car. I wonder if he may have made some contact with the outside wall. It may have a little bit of suspension damage. Let's actually hop on board and we'll listen and see if we can see anything with the steering angles the way that car's running here. I can't see anything that stands out to me, but you can just tell definitely does not have the pace as the other cars. Let's do it real quick. I'm going to try to do a quick run around and see if someone's taking out some cones there. We'll do a quick check here, see if we can maybe catch what happened to that number 6. Maybe get an idea of what happened here. So I think this might be exactly what we were looking for as he comes off of 2. You can see he's a little higher than he wants to be. Oh yeah, just catches the outside wall there off of 2. So that's where the damage came from on that number 6 machine. So right now Bud's just trying to limp this thing along, probably hoping for a yellow, of course, to try to get back in the mix, because he's fallen out right now, showing as in the top 10 position, but say he's just, yeah, he's going to be holding on for dear life right now. So a few drivers making some pretty good charges so far in this race, though. The 222 of Jared Kaczynski started in the 12th position, currently showing in the 7th place. And then right behind him, that number 76 of Jim Brooks started 16th and is up to 8th. So both these drivers having a really good start to the race. Already 15 laps in. Say we got 86 to go at the line. Again, these drivers putting down pretty much 20-second laps here, so under green, these laps are going to tick off very quickly. Actually, I see the 34. Oh, yeah, as I was going to say, I saw something happen to 34, and sure enough, he is in big trouble. It looks like he may get stuck to the wall, so that's going to bring out our first yellow. Let's go and see what happened to that number 34 to bring this caution out. See him coming through 3. Oh, he just catches the apron there. Say just a little bit too much banking difference. And so we saw him get away with it at Dover last week, but here not so much. And heavy contact with that safer barrier, and then just hooks him in there. And I say, unfortunately for him, nothing he can do at that point. He's just got to go ahead and have to take a tow to be able to get back on track here. However, this will be a huge break for Bud Steele. He'll be able to get one of those faster pairs taken care of on that car. And then be able to get back into the mix. Of course, unfortunately, loses a ton of track position all the way back into the 13th position now. So now pit stops are going to be taking place. Let's see if anybody plays any strategy, but right now looks like everybody's going to hop in for tires and fuel. Keeping an eye, don't see anybody staying out for the moment. As I say that, looks like John Brill's going to stay out, but that may be just to lead a lap. I'll have to wait and see. Looks like too much change in position there. Top 2 hold serve there. Eric Schaus, David Leclerc. Looks like Corey Lane holds onto that 3rd spot as well. So while they're riding around here under yellow, we'll step away again for just a moment. Let these drivers pace under yellow. We'll see what John, I'm guessing John again will probably go ahead, and he's probably just trying to get a lap led, would be my guess here in that number 90 machine. So now's the time to do it if you're going to see if he's able to do so or not. So the only thing is he may get passed by these guys as he enters the pits. So we'll have to kind of see at the line. Yeah, and unfortunately it did not pan out for him. However, also a way to just pit safely and not have to worry about stacking up into one another. So yeah, so say we're under yellow. Eric Schaus still showing as our race leader, so we'll step away for a moment and then rejoin here with the one to go. Alright, lights are off of the pace car. Looks like for the most part, most drivers here stayed or pitted after that stop, and that's where they didn't pit again afterwards. Had a few drivers top off that last time around. One driver topping off this time. That's going to be Charles Johnson, Michael Spill, Roy Wheeler. Those drivers all topped off that last time around, and then right now the 44 of Dwight Plush, he's in the pits as well, topping off his fuel here. And then Jason Bridges is back out on track, unfortunately 3 laps down. However, again, right now the only car lap down, so that could obviously benefit him should we get future yellows. As long as he's not involved, he'll be able to get his laps back in that way. However, you can see that 72 is getting to the top side here, waiting for that green flag to fly. He's got the 58 David Leclerc right on his back gearbox, no bumpers, and we're about to get back underway, and the green flag is out. So it's a really good initial start there for Eric, but you can see though the 50 though David Leclerc, he's got a huge head of steam there through 3 and 4, is right back to him here, just about a tenth or so of a second behind him. Saying this is kind of probably the time you can take advantage of those tires over the dirty air. You see already though David moving up a little bit here, saying I think that's where you just got to try to arc those turns the right way. However, you can see he's getting a huge head of steam there though in that draft behind that 72. That's keeping him right now right in touch with him. So I think that's what's you're going to see here is he's going to struggle a little bit in the turns, but then has a big advantage in the corners in that number 50 machine. So a little further back, we have a pretty good battle here for the, looks like the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th positions there. We've got Charles T there, Jack Walls, Craig Forsyth, Jim Brooks. These guys all right now together here fighting for those positions. So we mentioned some of these drivers making pretty good charges here since the start of the race. And I say the other driver I'll have to keep an eye on is Bud Steele. I see him sneaking into the picture there. He's back up into the 9th position. So he'll definitely be one to keep an eye on as this race unfolds. Oh, and with that, we actually do have another yellow. Looks like the 65 I see and the 88 involved. Oh, Gary Corley, heavy hit for him. It's like Michael Spells some left front wing end plate damage. He's going to try to, let's say both these drivers are going to try to get going as quick as possible here. They don't want to get put a lap down, so they're going to get rolling here. Gary's going to be in a little bit worse shape with all the damage he has to his car. Is kind of crab walking, you can see there. So let's go and see what happened and bring this yellow out. Looks like Gary might be able to make it happen though here. Watching the 65 of Gary Corley. Oh, looks like he just washes up too hard off of turn 2. Yeah, gets to the inside. And then, oh yeah, just contact between the 80 and the 65 afterwards. Michael's trying to guess where the 65 was going to go, and unfortunately just got into him. You know, just kind of a mistake, unfortunately, just guessed wrong. And then, yeah, just barrel rolled that 65 all the way back up into that Kench fence. So, I say luckily they'll be able to get back on his wheels here. I think, well, actually it looks like he may be trapped just one lap down. So I mean it could be a lot worse for him here. Say we see him in the pits coming out now. So I believe that'll trap Gary just one down. It is going to benefit Jason Bridges. He's going to get one of those 3 laps back, so he's going to be 2 laps down now. And then for the pit stops, it looks like Bud Steele is one of the first ones to make a pit stop. And then behind him, you have a few other takers there. It looks like the 90 of John Burrell, 28 of Charles Johnson, 98 of Roy Wheeler. And then I believe, of course, the 88 Michael Spell had to get that wing replaced on his car. And I think that's everybody who made pit stops there. So, unfortunately, yeah, back under yellow here, still showing the way is that 72 of Eric Schau. So it's a pretty short run there. Only probably about 8 or so laps under green. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a risk to stay out here for the leaders. The only thing that could come into play would be the fuel mileage with this. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that comes into play. So until then, we'll step away again for a moment, rejoin things here on the 1 to go. right, lights back off the pace car. Again, a few more takers here. Looks like the first one in is going to be that 90 of John Brill. And then I see the 88 Michael Spell, who was unfortunately involved in that last incident, is in the pits as well, along with the 44 of Dwight Plush. So looks like these guys are maybe trying to get just another splash of fuel here. Again, you never know. I mean, they'll be able to go here now about 14 or so laps further than the leaders in theory. So you never know how that could turn out. We've seen some timely and untimely cautions before, so that's why that's kind of where the strategy always falls into play. So right now 18 cars on the lead lap, 65 Gary Corley just 1 lap down, 34 of Jason Bridges is 2 down, and we are going to get things going here in just a moment. Watch from the gearbox of that 72 last time. Let's watch from the cockpit of the 50 of David Leclerc as we're about to get going. Green flag's back in the air again. Pretty good start there for that 72, but now we'll see if Dave's able to chase him back down. Really close battle between these two right now on this restart. You see David's gets the run that he needs off of 4, maybe just needs a little tiny bit more to be able to really capitalize, but Eric's doing everything he can as well to hold on to that position. You can see David gets right there, but I think it's just, as he touches the apron there, you see he had to make that little correction as we were talking there. But I think that's what David just needs to get that little bit closer right before the entrance of turn number 1, before he can try to make that charge. However, though, I think as these tires wear, though, I think just being in that dirty air of that 72 is going to make things just that much tougher for this number 50. Say it was a little further back. This fight's continuing on right where it left off with Craig Forsyth, Charles Teed, and Jim Brooks. Battle for the 4th position between the 3 of them. You can see Craig almost gets enough to get to that back bump, or back gearbox, I should say, of the 27. Just not quite enough to make the move happen. Saying that, of course, he has to be careful not to be too aggressive, because that could open him up for a counterattack from that number 76 car here. Oh, you see there, he's able to get the run entering turn 1. He jumps to the bottom, able to hold to the door, or side pod, I should say, of that 27 car. So now it's going to be getting through 3 and 4, and it looks like Craig's going to get it done. He'll be able to grab that spot, but now he has to be careful for the kind of the over-under, if you will, from the 27 of Charles Teed. But it looks like for the moment, it looks like Craig's going to be able to hold on to that position, so move Craig up into 4th. Charles Teed in that 27 back into the 5th position. Saying again that 76 of Jim Brooks, trying to see if he can find a way to kind of make a charge and sneak by him as well, which it looks like he's going to make the move now here off of turn number 4. 76 goes to the inside, trying to see if he can kind of duplicate what that 131 did, and he is able to clear that 27 of Charles Teed, so move Jim up into 5th. Now saying unfortunately Charles just has more and more drivers sneaking up onto the back bumper of that car, or back gearbox, if you will. So now I see that 222 of Jared Kaczynski, he is all over him here, trying to see if he can take a look. Couldn't quite make it there, but I think we're going to see another battle for position here. A big wiggle there from Charles Teed. It's going to open the door for Jared to try to make that charge, and he'll grab that spot as well. And then you see a few others trying to follow along there. You see Bud Steele, Jack Walls kind of wanted to make the move, but didn't want to force the issue, so they back off just a little bit. That's going to bring that 035 of Nicholas Winook right up into that mix as well. Oh, big push there for Charles Teed. He's able to hang on to it, but he's going to lose a bunch of spots there. You see 3 cars go by. Looks like the 4th is going to go by James Ledford as well. Unfortunately, it's going to drop Charles, I believe, or yeah, Charles into about the 11th position, I believe. I'm saying just not the turn yet, so let's move him back into 11th. So I'm looking around through the field here right now. Oh, it looks like Roy Wheeler had something happen to... Oh, he's got some pretty good damage to the right front of his car. So he's going to hit the pits here and get a fast repair taken care of now. Not worth limping around with that whole right front end plate missing. I said that car would definitely not rotate well for him. So right now these drivers are all starting to spread out just a little bit. You see about a second between them individually here. Right now closest battle is that number 6 of Bud Steele and the 83 of Jack Walls. This is for the 7th position. And then the other fight we have going a little further back is with that 28 of Charles Johnson. Right behind him is the 48 of James Ledford. They're battling right now to try to hold on to the 11th position or try to also get up to that 27 of Charles Teed. See if they can grab a top 10 spot. Roy Wheeler's back on track, unfortunately showing 2 laps down at the moment. But again, still a long ways to go here. As fast as these laps go through though, so we have 54 to go. So again, under green, these laps do tick by very quickly. Right now though, again, Eric Schau still showing as our leader by about a second or so over David Leclerc. But I say now though, Eric's going to have to work through some traffic a little bit, and as long as he can get through clean, he should be alright. But he's definitely have to be careful though, working the traffic here, which it looks like he gets through that first car of that's the 44 of Dwight Plush. Gets by him nice and clean, and now that's going to have to do the same here for David Leclerc. And it looks like Dwight's giving plenty of room. Just really respectful driving by some of these guys here, which is kind of what you come to expect to see from them week in and week out. You see a little further back, 10 of Corey Lane starting to see that blue and white car of Craig Forsyth kind of creep into the picture just a little bit closer. Right now the interval between them is about 3/4 of a second or so, and then Jim Brooks also starting to close the gap as well on them. So watching lap times right now, looks like at the moment I think Eric Schau's, Jim Brooks have been kind of the quickest cars on track. They're both running in the 3s, 4s, or some of these other guys have been in the 5s and 6s. So although that last time by around, Jared Kaczynski, fastest car on track with a 280 there. Right now in that 6th position. Again, we talked about how quick things are going. We just crossed the halfway point in this race. Right now, though, we still have 16 cars on the lead lap. John Brill's going to be the next in line he's going to try to see if he can hold off from getting lapped from the 72 of Eric Schau's, but right now Eric's not too far behind him. Saying he has to be careful as well because, again, I say the more they fight, that's going to just bring that number 50 right into the picture. But it looks like Eric might get the run he needs here entering turn 3. He does. Again, you see these drivers giving a lot of respect for leaders there. John Brill goes ahead and moves over and lets him by. And again, now David's going to have to try to do the same thing and try to keep that pressure on that number 72 here. Alright, looks like we have a battle now coming up really quickly here. So you see Craig Forsyth, Jim Brooks, they're right behind him. Again, Jim's been quicker these last few laps. I'm wondering if Craig's starting to get that kind of that arrow wash, if you will, behind that number 10 of Corey Lane. And it looks like so far Jim's been able to manage his a little bit better. As you can see, the big push there off of turn 2. And this is where the drivers are going to have to kind of work on their tools here. So even with the fixed setup, they do have the weight jacker adjustments that they can work on to try to kind of tighten and loosen the car. So they'll be probably playing with that a little bit if they have the opportunity to. So say it's a lot to try to work on. But while they've been doing that, though, you saw just behind them that black car, Jared Kaczynski, he's brought right back up into this mix. So right now you got 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th here, all within about a second or two of each other. The rest of the field's pretty spread out here. Say just behind this group here is Jack Walls. Jack showing in the 7th position. Behind him you have the 6 of Bud Steele in 8th. And then so I gotta hunt down the car number, the 035 of Nicholas Nook in the 9th position. In 10th is Charles Teed. He's kind of settled in there into that 10th spot. Behind him, Charles Johnson in 11th. In 12th, we have James Ledford. And then in, let's see where we at, 13th is Todd Merkel. 14th is the 77 of Benjamin Combs in that Napa machine. And then you have Michael Spell not too far behind. Looks like actually trying to make a pass here as they go through the dog leg, if you will. And it looks like Michael's going to grab that spot. And actually, while we were watching all of that, we had some positions change. You see the 10 of Corey Lane. He's fallen back a little bit here. So he's now back into the 6th position. So move Craig Forsyth now up into... Oh, actually, who was that I just saw up high? Oh, that was the 90 of John Burrows getting out of the way. Okay. So yes, that moves Craig up into 3rd, Jim to 4th, and then Jared Kaczynski now into that top 5 spot. I was saying right now that 131 Craig Forsyth has some pretty clean track in front of him now. He's going to try to see if he can put down some laps here and kind of close the gap on those leaders, which are about four and a half seconds ahead of him here as we have 40 to go. So this is where things are going to really get tough here for that number 72 of Eric Schaus. He's going to have to hope for a lot of help from these cars in front, which right away you see Todd Merkel again. A lot of respect for from these guys with each other. So it's really what you want to see, and it's one of those things that's really nice to see as well. You see, he actually gets out of the way there of the 50 as well there. As they're about to catch about 3 cars in a row. You got the 65 of Gary Corley. I think the 34 is in there of Jason Bridges, and also the 77, I believe that might be, of Benjamin Combs. So he's going to have his work cut out for him to try to work his way through this. And actually, a little bit of pit strategy. Looks like 131 of Craig Forsyth is in, as is the 81 there of Todd Merkel. So this, I believe, is going to be scheduled pit stops for these guys. Maybe trying to short pit a little bit to take advantage of that. So he is in the pits right now as the leaders go by. This is kind of that risk versus reward. You might get some fast laps here on the clean tires. And actually, as we have a battle here for the lead, you see David Leclerc was able to actually get around the 72 of Eric Schaus. So move David now up into the lead. So while we're watching that, though, that 50 car made a big move there, is able to grab the top spot here. But again, I believe pit stops are looming, it looks like, with those first drivers making those pit stops that lap or so ago. So we're going to keep an eye on that now and see if these other leaders kind of follow suit. So we're going to keep an eye on this lead battle because right now there you see David Leclerc. He's having to try to work around Benjamin Combs now. Looks like he's able to do so now. Oh, Eric Schaus trying to follow, keep him keep him close here, keep that pressure on that number 50. And right now he's able to get around that lap car. And here comes the 76 of Jim Brooks. He's going to hit the pits. So I'm going to keep an eye on the leaders, though, because last time I did that, we had that pass for the lead. I don't want to miss another one. Looks like 27 of Charles Teed is in the pits as well. So I'm gonna think we're gonna start seeing these leaders come in. Here goes Eric Schaus. He's gonna go for the short pit strategy and see if he can kind of undercut that 50 of David Leclerc. 222 Jared Kaczynski is in as well. So now definitely starting to see these green flag pit stops here at Phoenix. So getting a great job of these drivers. Able to say more drivers coming in. 035 is in. The 28 Charles Johnson is in. Looks like, here comes the 50 of David Leclerc. So now the battle up front is going to be between the 10. Well, not anymore. There goes the 10 into the pits. Jack Walls is going to come out now and grab onto the lead here. And it looks like the 6 of Bud Steele will be in second place. And trying to see who else is staying out. Looks like the 88 is going to stay out as well, Michael Spell. Bud Steele's got about 10 more laps of fuel than Jack Wall, so Bud can go a fair bit longer here. This could actually, if I'm Bud Steele here, I'm going to run this thing out, because if there's a caution, you never know how this whole race could unfold. So I'm going to wait and see, let everything cycle through, try to see where the drivers who pitted cycle out. Because again, there's a lot happening here, right here on this, right now during this race. First, we'll do the first guy pitted there. There's David Leclerc, Craig Forsyth. Oh, he is right there with that 72 of Eric Schaus. And you see also the 50 is in this as well, David Leclerc. So actually that short pit strategy worked really well, though, for Craig Forsyth. Now he's right up into this mix. I'm saying we have a bunch of drivers here all right together there with Eric Schaus, Craig Forsyth, David Leclerc, Jim Brooks, Jared Kaczynski. They're all right here together. So this is going to be a pretty good battle all the way through to the end at this point. 83 of Jack Walls has pitted. That's going to put the lead into the hands of that number 6 of Bud Steele. Say Bud running slightly slower laps than some of these leaders right now. As you can see, you got the 27 trying to take a look underneath. I believe that's going to bring him back to 1 lap down from 2 with Charles Teed, but actually not able to do so. Bud holding a really good line here on that top side. And as I say that, caution is out. That was exactly what Bud wanted to see there. Looks like the 34 of Jason Bridges is going to try to spin that thing back around and get back going here. So yeah, that's going to change everything, because right now there's only 2 cars on the lead lap right now, which are the 6 of Bud Steele and the 88 of Michael Spell. Alright, so we're watching that number 34 of Jason Bridges entering turn number 3. Looks like he's trying to stay out of the way of the leaders coming around. Looks like, oh yeah, just that apron bites him there as he gets through 3 and 4, makes contact with the outside wall. I believe just a single car incident, so say at least luckily nobody else involved here, and he just waits for things to get cleared and spins it back around to get back onto the pits. He say he's able to get that fast repair done. So with that though, again, we only have 2 cars right now on the lead lap. It's going to be that 6 of Bud Steele and the 88 of Michael Spell. They're going to have to obviously come in here and make a pit stop, so which they're going to do right now. Say Bud's going to be the first to make that pit stop. You see the 88 coming in right there in the background, and then we're going to see a lot of wave arounds. So that's going to also really change the outcome of this. So let's kind of wait and see. I believe we'll probably actually see almost the whole field here probably take wave arounds under this yellow. So I'm going to watch the 6 car make his pit stop here. Say should be obviously no pressure on this pit stop here. He had a big gap in front of the 88, so he'll be able to get the 4 tires fuel and then get right back on out. Just has to make sure he doesn't exit the pits before they're open. That's always a danger you have to keep an eye on. And then you have the 88 Michael Spell doing the same thing here. And it looks like actually I didn't even think about the Lucky Dog. Lucky Dog's going to go to John Brill. That's going to put John back on the lead lap here that way, which will put him just, I believe, that'll put him as the 3rd car. And usually what happens is the Lucky Dog winds up at the back of the longest line. But what's going to happen here with all these drivers, I'm sure, are going to be taking these wave arounds. What's going to happen is he's going to be restarting in about the 3rd or 4th position on track. So this is actually going to be a huge benefit for him. See a few drivers here making pit stops though. Corey Lane in the 10. Roy Wheeler in the 98. Roy had pitted earlier because of damage, unfortunately, so he's getting a pit stop done. And then Benjamin Combs, who was 2 laps down. But yeah, so I believe pretty much from everyone from, I think the first one I see there is Charles Teed. He's right now the first car behind that pace car. From everybody, from him all the way back to our leader here, Bud Steele. Again, look how far back Bud Steele is. You're going to see all of these cars take wave arounds here. So you can see just how many cars that is. So yeah, this is going to get pretty interesting. I say Bud may have just played the perfect pit strategy. One of those things, use some bad luck from that damage to actually work out in his favor here in this race. And yeah, Rachel, you're exactly right. I mean, this race has flown by. I say right now we're going to come to line with 25 to go. Again, these green flag laps here at Phoenix have been around the 19-20 second mark. So if they stay green, these races go extremely quickly, and they've done a really good job thus far. It's obviously going to probably get a little bit dicier now with the kind of the mixed bag of tires and who's where in track position wise and all that. But still, though, a really good job so far overall by these drivers. So if I'm seeing correctly, I think there's about 6 cars between Michael Spell and John Brill. So those drivers are going to be able to restart in front of them. So basically, you're going to have some cars a lap down restarting right behind the 88 machine of Michael Spell. Looks like the first is going to be the 77 of Benjamin Combs. And then say these other guys are going to be in that same boat. But what we're going to see here, though, is again starting off with that 27 of Charles Teed here. I think we're going to get the one to go this time. You're you're going to see this pretty much the whole field here take the wave rounds, and sure enough, there's the one to go. So there goes Charles Teed. You're going to see Charles Johnson follow along there. 48 of James Ledford, Eric Schaus, and say all these guys are going to be kind of like, all right, hurry up, let's go. We don't want to. We want to get as close to the front as possible here before we get that restart. Actually, I'm seeing John Brill here. Looks like he's going to jump back into the pits. I think he's not really wanting to be in the mix of this craziness on this restart. So it looks like he's going to hit the pits here and just kind of try to cycle to the back of the field on this one. You see, Bud Steele has gotten up to the pace car. And I say we're going to get things going again this time around with 23 to go. So with those wave rounds, we now have 10 cars on the lead lap. Obviously, the top two, Bud Steele and Michael Spell, have brand new tires. However, some of these others don't have too much more tire wear, I should say, maybe about 10-12 laps on a few of them. So yeah, we're going to have to wait and see how this is going to go. And there's also going to be a few lap cars in between. However, though, we are under green. Bud Steele with a great restart. He's going to sneak away from the field there. And again, the next cars in line have a lot of traffic to try to deal with. Let's say starting with Eric Schaus here. You see he's got James Ledford right in front of him there. Well, when he doesn't disappear, that is. You see, so yeah, he's got about a half a dozen cars before he can get even to Michael Spell. So right now Eric Schaus showing in that third position, but we'll wait for the ticker to update, and I think he's going to be showing about 5 or so seconds off of the lead, which is pretty wild here at Phoenix. So yeah, I feel like all these drivers here from third on back want a yellow, but they don't want to be the yellow. So I think that's what we're going to see here. Is going to be these guys trying to get through the lap traffic as quickly but safely as possible. And just try to see what happens. But like I said, though, Bud Steele, though, he's pretty much just set sail here. Michael Spell right behind him, though, in second spot, just about a second or so behind, but plenty of gap between himself and then that 10 of Corey Lane, so he's in a nice little pocket himself there. Like I said, things are going to be busy, though, with the 72 of Eric Schaus. You see Craig Forsyth's right there with him. 50 of David Leclerc is right in that mix as well. Oh, as you see that, actually, the 131, Craig Forsyth gets high there off of 2. That's going to open the door for that 50 of David Leclerc. He's going to grab that spot here, entering turn number 3. It's a little bit of smoke, but looks like no harm, no foul. May have just been a connection issue. So we stay green. We have 19 to go. And so it looks like, again, they're trying to kind of just pick their way through the field here as fast as they can, but there's only so much you can do, obviously, especially when that number 6 car is nice, clean air right now. Right now, it looks like Eric's got about 4 more lap cars until he gets a little bit of clean air. But even then, he still has 2 more lap cars he has to try to get around before he can even get up into the battle with the 88 and the 6. So I say right now, honestly, I feel like without a yellow, I think it's going to be pretty much Bud Steele and Michael Spell's races to lose here with those top 2 positions. Again, like I said, I feel like all these drivers from third on back, they want a yellow, they just don't want to be the yellow. And right now, though, again, these guys have been doing a great job so far this evening on racing hard but racing clean. As you see, Benjamin Combs now, it looks like he's under attack from that 131 of Craig Forsyth. Looks like Craig's going to grab the inside line there and get around him. So again, he's trying to stay in touch as well with these cars in front of him, the 50 of David Leclerc and the 72 of Eric Schaus. So up front, not too much has changed, so I say, well, right now, keep an eye on this battle here for third. This is probably one of the closest battles on track. A little further back, we have Jack Walls, Jim Brooks. They're in a little bit of a fight themselves. I say Jack's actually able to get around a couple of those lap cars and give himself a little bit of a buffer there. You also see Jared Kaczynski here trying to chase down that number 76 machine as well. So again, a lot of these guys still just doing everything they can. Looks like Eric's been able to finally get around some of this traffic, and now he's going to have a little bit of clear sailing for the moment. But again, though, David Leclerc is going to follow him through here and try to do the same and just try to keep chasing them down as we have 13 to go. Again, right now, these leaders running 20 seconds per lap right now. It's going to knock things through. Yeah, you're exactly right, Rachel. Like, Eric's been passing a ton of cars. It's hard to keep track of who's where. So I'm lucky because I have a little overlay that tells me which cars are lap down or lead lap and everything like that. But right now, again, you see though, Eric's about 6 seconds off the lead, but he still has 4 more lap cars to pass until he even can get to the 88 of Michael's spell. But again, you can see Michael though, same thing. He's got about that 5-second buffer over the 72 here. Let's jump over to Jack Walls here. He's in a pretty good fight there. You see him just get around the 28 of Charles Johnson. Jim Brooks going to follow along as well. Jared Kaczynski trying to follow through as well. As leaders just cross the line there for 10 to go here. It's like Jared's able to grab that, grab around Charles Johnson there as well, and he's trying to put that pressure on the 76 to Jim Brooks. Right now, this is the battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th position. Again, Jack Walls was the points leader entering this race, so he wants to hold on to all the positions he possibly can. Right now, things have settled out just a little bit up front, but that 76 car is definitely under pressure from that 222. As leaders now have taken the 9 to go. I say right now, again, this is one of the closest battles on track. I'm trying to keep an eye on the intervals around the track here. But yeah, right now this is definitely the best battle for position. Craig Forsyth's kind of snuck away a little bit, but he's about a second away from Jack Walls, or sorry, from David Leclerc, and David Leclerc also about a second away from Eric Schaus. Actually, though, up front, though, Michael Spell, he's closing the gap now. It's about 0.3 of a second. I wonder if Michael's just kind of saving those tires a little bit and trying to make a charge here at the end. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on these guys now as they go through turns 3 and 4. Going to come around here to 6 to go, I should say. We'll hop on board with that number 88 as he tries to chase down that number 6. Again, Michael's going to have a little bit of advantage through the straightaways. He's got that draft from that number 6 machine. He just has to be extremely careful through the turns not to get into that aero wash and really struggle there, because that's really where you can kind of do some damage. Is he actually, Michael, using a little bit of the apron there to help that car rotate. And as we have 5 to go here, and the other thing that Bud's got to be careful about is he's got that 44 of Dwight Plush right in front of him. Again, I'm sure Dwight's going to move out of the way, but even that little bit that he's behind him, that could again also do the same thing and just affect the aero of that number 6 car. Oh, everything's going to change. Yellow just came out. Trying to see if I can find where it happened. I see the 48 car. Oh, yeah, it is the 48 of James Ledford. That's going to bring the caution out. And this is going to put us into green-white checkered territory. And this is exactly what some of these leaders wanted to see. Oh, as James tries to keep things going there and just gets hooked up into the wall. Let's see what happened to that 48 car to bring this yellow out with about 3 to go. Alright, watching that 48 of James Ledford. Oh, just gets really tight there off of 4, catches the outside wall, kind of just slides along the wall here, and then tries to get it off of the wall. You can see he's just staying in the throttle to try to keep it, or to try to get it unstuck. He finally does, but at that point the suspension's damaged, that he just has no control over the car, and so he just has to kind of bring it to a stop to avoid anybody getting into the back of him. So he's doing everything he can, just unfortunate there. So yeah, that's going to bring us under yellow here. You see James here trying to bring it into the pits. So now the question is going to be strategy here. I don't know if the pits were open that time or not. Looks like they were. Looks like we have a few takers a little further in back. The first one was Craig Forsyth in that 131. He went ahead and is going to pit here for some tires. I would guess probably not fuel. I think he's going to want to try to keep that thing as light as possible. So you see that poor car in the 48 just kind of crab walking down the pit lane there. So that 131 is going to hit his pit stall here. Then we also saw the 76 of Jim Brooks. He decided to do the same, as is that 035. So all these drivers going to get some service done to their cars and get back out on track. As I said, they're just going to hope these fresh tires do the trick for them to kind of make a charge here at the end. It's possible they may have had some damage that they're just having to try to limp along with. You never know. 65 Gary Corley, he gets his lap back here, so he's going to be back on the lead lap here, which is going to give us 11 cars on the lead lap. And yeah, so this is going to get interesting now. So now we're going to have all the leaders here all be lined up together, except for that 67, or sorry, the 65, I should say, of Gary Corley, because as the lucky dog, you're going to you have to cycle to the back of the field, unfortunately. So now Eric Schaus the 50 David Leclerc, they're going to see the leaders, and it's just going to give them that much more incentive here to go after it. But again, that's only going to be, we have up to the 3 attempts, of course, of the green white checker. This will be attempt number 1. But yeah, so I say it's gonna be pretty frantic here, these final restarts. So now, Rachel, things will make much more sense. All the leaders will be pretty much all bundled together here. And this restart's going to be interesting. Again, this is the first time these leaders are going to have restarted on older tires. This whole time before that, they've all been on pretty much brand new tires on these cars. First car on the freshest tires is going to be Craig Forsyth in that 131. Looks like he's going to restart in the 8th position. Jim Brooks right behind him in 9th. So we'll see what they're able to do. I'll say that's going to be definitely the goal here, is to use those tires and try to get through the field as quick as possible. Again, right now between the top 7 drivers, their tires are all in the range of 25 to 35 laps old. And say now with the yellow, of course, tire temps are going to drop and everything will be a little bit better now. So yeah, so we'll kind of have to wait and see. Yeah, things are going to definitely be a lot more stressful here on this restart. I'll say again, it's probably going to be a little bit wild. I'll say Bud's going to have to hope he gets a really good restart like he did that last time. We've seen though that second car is able to get usually a pretty good draft off of 4 coming. This time will be obviously coming to the white flag. So I'll say he's going to have to kind of wait and see see what the opportunities might arise for him. And so also just again, they have to make sure they get through the gears here well and not spin these tires, because that could definitely come into play. Alright, lights are off of the pace car. Again, this is going to be green white checker attempt number 1. We do have up to 3 attempts of the green white checker finishes. So should a yellow come out before the white flag flies, we will stack them up and do it one more time, up to 2 more times. However, if they do get to that 3rd attempt of a green white checker, if a yellow comes out before the white flag, the caution will freeze the field, and that's where they will finish the race. I don't think fuel's going to be an issue for any of these drivers. I think it's just going to be these slightly older tires are going to definitely give them a handful. 2 drivers we're going to have to definitely keep, actually 3 drivers we're going to have to keep an eye on are going to be, well, actually it looks like 2. That 035 unfortunately is a little further back than he'd like to be. So I'm going to be trying to keep an eye as I can on Craig Forsyth, Jim Brooks. They're going to be starting 8th and 9th respectively. However, they'll wait for that green flag to fly. You see Bud Steele, he gets the green. He is off and away. Gets a really good start there. I think that's exactly what he was hoping to do. I say now the battle is going to be behind them. You see that 72 under attack from the 50 of David Leclerc. Right now we're going to keep an eye on the lead here, because here comes that 88 of Michael Spell. He's going to try to get that run that we talked about. He's going to get right by him. He's going to see if he can make the charge here with the draft, as we do get the white flag, so this will be the last time around. Peeks to the inside, can't quite make it. He's going to have to wash up a little bit with that arrow push. He loses some momentum. Could that put him under attack from those cars behind him? Looks like they're in a fight of their own, so right now it looks like Bud Steele might be sitting pretty here as he comes through 3 and 4. Sure enough, Bud Steele's going to win the race. Right behind him, though, Eric Schaus is going to hang on to 3rd. 4th place is going to go to David Leclerc. Jack Walls in 5th. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like... Oh, actually, it looks like something happened to the 131 Craig Forsyth. It looks like he's actually fallen back a fair bit. Yeah, he's got some left front damage there. So let's go and see what happened to Craig here. Unfortunately, the tire strategy did not pan out for him like he would have hoped for, I'm sure. Let's see. So I'm going to guess this is coming to the white. Or this is probably on the white flag, I should say. So he comes through 1 and 2 C's behind that 222 Jared Kaczynski. Gets a good run through the turn, but just too much of a run. Actually has to wash up a little bit not to run into the back of him. So unfortunately, one of those things where do the right thing, but it hurts your race. And unfortunately, you see bounces off the wall. Oh, into the 76 of Jim Brooks. That's where the damage came from there between the 2 of them. So that spins that 131 around there. So he's able to, somehow nobody hit him there, which is amazing in itself. And that was also where the 76 got his damage from. However, though, That's going to give the win here, though. Bud Steele's going to grab it. Again, talk about that bad luck going to kind of bad luck to good luck there, and Bud Steele's going to grab the win here. Use that pit strategy, able to stay out later than the rest of the field, and able to make it happen tonight. All right, so with that, so we're gonna go find our top three and have some chats with them, see how the race went, kind of see how that strategy worked out for them all, and yeah, just kind of have us run through it. All right, so we're going to start things off with that number 72 of Eric Schaus. Started on the pole position, able to bring it back up into that third spot. So I didn't, again, that pit strategy, not strategy per se, but just the way the caution fell in that pit stop cycle obviously didn't do you any favors there. Did you run it dry, or were you kind of maybe trying a little bit of a short pit to help your cause there at the end?
I had a decent amount of fuel left at the end there. Yeah, it was just unfortunate timing on that caution. I felt like I had more than enough pace to cover the field all day long, and unfortunately, that caution just fell at the wrong time. But good on Bud and Michael for having the right pit strategy there.
Yeah, so you never know how it goes, especially at these short tracks. It's just so risky because it's like, if you pit, you're gonna probably be trapped at least a lap down. And so yeah, sure enough, I mean, those two are the only ones that were in that position. And then it's like, okay, well, great, I'll get the wave around, but then you were trapped behind felt like probably about a dozen cars in front of you there. So obviously, you had to work your way through. It's like, okay, yeah, I passed like 10 cars, but I'm still 8 seconds behind the leaders there.
Yeah, it was kind of a double whammy because, like you said, I was stuck behind a good number of cars, 5, 10, somewhere in that range. But then also because I was kind of pacing behind them, I was saving a lot more fuel than I intended to. So I ended up finishing kind of heavy, which definitely didn't help me there on the green white checkered.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that as well. Once we did get that last yellow, bring the green white checkered out for the attempt, I was like, all right, this is gonna be. I mean, it's what you want to have. Obviously, have a chance at it. But yeah, if you're a little heavier on fuel, definitely won't work out as you would hope so. But I mean, still though, I mean, a really good run for you. Obviously, like you said, kind of set the pace the whole race there until unfortunately that untimely yellow. Yeah, it just seems like you've been kind of bitten with these cars the last couple weeks. Last week at Dover, and now here at Phoenix, they just those cautions at the wrong time to kind of just undo your race, if you will.
Yeah, a combination of bad luck and just making silly mistakes have definitely cost me the last couple races. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too upset about this. It's hard to hate on a third place. It should still help me out in the standings. So, I'll take what I can get and just try and do just as well next week, if not better.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, still though, obviously the goal is to get that title at the end of the season. Saying so, yeah, you gained a few points on Jack Walls. I think you both led laps, but I think there's the bonus point for winning the pole, so you'll get a jump there as well. I want to say there might be something about leading the most laps as well. So I'll let the powers that be on the other side do all that. But like I said, though, a really strong run. I say going to close that gap just a little bit. So I feel like, I don't know about you, but this seemed to me probably about the hardest stretch that you had, having Watkins Glen, then Dover, then Phoenix. I mean, those are three definite challenging tracks in a row here.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of Dover. I really enjoyed Watkins Glen. I've definitely gotten into the road racing a lot more recently, so I'm looking forward to the Canada track. But this track I really, really enjoyed. I felt like it wasn't just flat out the whole way. I mean, you had to lift in the corners. You had to take a good line. And I felt, I was doing pretty well with my pace. It was just unfortunate timing. But, I look forward to this track again next year because I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, you guys did an awesome job. It was a really impressive race. To say, for putting down 20-second laps to only have the 4 yellows there, I mean, yeah, you guys as a whole did an awesome job. So that being said, though, before I let you go, definitely got to give you an opportunity for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that third place run tonight.
Yeah, thanks to Area 51 for a great race. This was actually probably one of my favorite races outside of Watkins Glen. It was very clean, which was nice. Thanks to you for the commentator, doing the commentation, and then thanks to my wife for always watching and supporting.
All right, well, yeah, congrats to say, yeah, we're trying to keep her up to date with everything going on with that. Again, that caution in the middle just kind of threw everything up. It's like, all right, who's where and what's going on? So, yeah, it was definitely kind of an odd one to see if you weren't, like, if you caught it in the middle, you're like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's what happens, Can't be lucky for all of them, so let's just hope the next time that doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, so you had to have a little bit of everything. Unfortunately, luck was on your side, but able to still work your way back up to that third place. So congrats again, and we'll look forward to chatting here with you again soon.
Thanks. See ya.
All right, that's our third place finisher there, Eric Schaus. However, now we're going to grab our second place finisher, that number 88 of Michael Spell. Is able to use that strategy there, kind of on the same strategy as that number 6 of Bud Steele. Is able to stay out that little bit longer in fuel, able to capitalize. We saw them topping off, and I think that came out to fruition there. And that's what it takes sometimes. You got to have the strategy, have the speed, and put yourself in the right place at the right time. And Michael, you were able to do all of those there. Grab that second position there, able to stay out that couple laps longer like Bud Steele there, and be able to pit there with everybody else being trapped a lap down. So I say that's probably a pretty good feeling when you have that happen there.
Yeah, I was back in the field, so I had pitted with 2 to go on the last caution, so I had a little more fuel than everybody, and then they all started pitting, and I was telling myself I'm staying out until the last possible second, because I thought that some of the cars coming out with fresher tires, it was slick the first couple laps, so I thought they may either have a problem or they may get into a car that's been out for a while a little bit slower. So yeah, it worked out.
No, I mean, I was saying if I was in the driver's seat, I'd be thinking the exact same thing. So I mean, you really capitalized on that strategy. I mean, again, and then at the end, I mean, obviously you had a couple opportunities there. You were closing on Bud there towards the end before that caution came out, and then that last restart, you could see you're right where you could almost kind of take a lunge there entering turn number 1. But again, I know with you guys working well together and kind of being part of the same group and everything like that, it's obviously not risk versus reward, if you will. So I'm going to guess you probably maybe laid back a little bit just to play it safe and not risk anything at the end. But I mean, that was a really good run though for you, and definitely looked like you had the pace to do something there at the end.
No, I wasn't holding back. And I was just talking to Bud before you moved me over, and he said, "Man, I just watched the replay going into 1 there." He said, "I think you would have had me if you could have made it stick." And I just I missed the entry by just a little bit. I was telling Bud, I in practice I was nailing the entry in 1 almost every lap, and then during the race I missed it a bunch of times. I don't know what it was, but I got in just a little bit too high, and then if you get in a little too high, it pushes up in the middle. So but I think that was my chance. I actually asked Bud on the radio once during the race there on the last long run before that caution if he was just toying with me, because there was several times where I got a run and I could get up, where I was closing on him, and then he'd pull back away from me.
Yeah, you can never tell with Bud. He's pretty wily, so you can never know what's under his sleeves there in that number 6 car. But yeah, I mean, awesome run though, Michael. Again, like you said, got yourself in position there with the strategy, and then able to kind of fight to the end there, try to grab that win. But only 1 spot short there, but again, a really good run, and definitely want to give you an opportunity for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that result tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. Yeah, and that's a really good run for me at that track, because I don't like that place at all. So it was good to finish second there. But yeah, just shout out to my dad. I think he's watching. I know I talked to him right before the race, and he said he was going to. So he finally got to see me up front. So he always says that I never got to see your car because you weren't running up front. So hopefully you got to see me tonight. But thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, no, you definitely did an awesome job. So yeah, hopefully he was able to catch you. I think we gave you enough attention. Hopefully tonight. If not, definitely let me know, and I'll make sure to do a little better job next time, because can't have Dad mad at me. So we'll make sure that we get you.
Yeah, I've got to put my car in a position where I deserve attention first. But I appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
You too, man. Great job. Yeah, you definitely were in that contention like here. All right, it's our second place finisher, Michael Spell. As we'll jump over to our winner of the race here, that number 6 of Bud Steele. So you can see him sitting on the pits. I was wondering if he was going to do some burnouts. So you see the car starting to roll there. So while we watch that, let's go ahead and grab this number 6 driver over here. Again, starting the second position, had that contact with the wall a little early on, but was able to recover and saying kind of one of those bad luck into good luck there at the end. But to say, had to obviously get some of that damage fixed when he caught that wall a little early on off of 4. Put you towards the back, but then use that strategy, and then when everybody else was pitting there, they pitted a little earlier than they had to. You stayed out there, and I mean, you pretty much got where you needed to be, and then from there just kind of set sail.
Well, yeah, I got a little lucky there. I had to try something different than everybody else to try to get back to the front. So, I pitted with 1 to go and went to the back on that one caution pit stop, and it worked out this time. That's a switch.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, say, how the strategies will unfold. Saying at a track like here, like at Phoenix, I mean, this would definitely be a track that I would lean towards staying out at as well, just because the way the cautions could fall. I mean, again, you're running 20-second laps. There's a lot that can happen in a really short amount of time. So, if I was in your shoes, like I told Michael, if I was in the same boat as him, I would have probably done the exact same thing. So, say best case scenario, you have what happens here. Worst case scenario, you might lose a couple of positions there. With having the older tires there while they had the fresh ones, but it's one of those risk versus rewards, and I think it was worth the gamble, and you took it, and it paid off for you tonight.
Yeah, I did, and on that, I guess next to last restart, took off, and I must say I like the new leader go when the pace car gets off, and that helped quite a bit, to be quite honest. Getting that good restart, good jump, and was trying to save a little tire because I had a feeling, that there was probably going to be another caution in there, and I think last season that's kind of what got me. I stayed out, and everybody else pitted, so everybody came back, went around me, and I probably lost half a dozen positions. But worked out real good.
Now, as they did what you needed to do tonight, I say awesome job tonight. Definitely one that was worth the effort. I said it wasn't an easy one to come by either. So congrats on that one, and definitely want to give you an opportunity to thanks and shouts you'd like to give for pulling off the win this evening.
Well, let's see. New sponsor O'Reilly's. Got to give a shout out to them. I'll probably run them the rest of the season, so nobody gets confused. I will be in that car the rest of the season. And thank you, Gael, and all the guys at Area 51 make all this happen.
Yeah, you guys do an awesome job behind the scenes. Making adjustments to try to put the best product out there, and you guys have been doing awesome. I'm really glad to be a part of it. So enjoy it, bud. Congrats again, and look forward to chatting again with you soon here.
Yep. Thanks a lot there, Gael. Hey, how's that burnout?
It's good. I'm still watching in super slow-mo, so I'm going to let it run here while we go through the standings. So you're going to get a lot of burnout video here.
Okay. Take care.
You too, sir. All right, that's our race winner, Bud Steele. You see that new O'Reilly paint scheme on that number 6 car. You got a lot of airtime here doing the burnouts, getting the win tonight. While he's doing those burnouts, we'll pull up the results for the race behind. So again, that number 6, Bud Steele, winning the race this evening. Right behind him, Michael Spell, only 0.3 of a second behind. They tried to make that charge in turn 1, just couldn't get it to stick, unfortunately. Third, Eric Schaus was able to hold off Dave Leclerc, Jack Walls, and Jared Kaczynski. Unfortunately, that contact towards the end between Jim Brooks and the 131 Craig Forsyth. Jim's able to hold on to that 7th position. John Brill brings it home 8th. Nicholas Nook in 9th, and Gary Corley rounds out our top 10. And then we have 11th through 20th here. Unfortunately, that contact with Craig Forsyth puts him down into that 11th spot. So unfortunately, the tire strategy gamble at the end didn't pay off for him. But definitely, I think was worth the risk. He was trying to definitely bring some of that gap down for the points on this season. Yeah, same thing. He just has not had the luck that he's been looking for this season. And you have 12-13. You have Charles Johnson, Todd Merkel, just one lap down. And then some of these drivers, unfortunately, didn't have the nights they were looking for from 14th to 20th there. And so I jumped took me away from our burnouts over here. Let's see if we can grab those back as we kind of do the final thoughts here. If it lets me. I'll just jump to the car. So yeah, so say again, I really want to thank you all for joining us here at Green White Checker TV. Congrats again to our top 3, Bud Steele, Michael Spell, and Eric Schaus. Really good run for these drivers. 104 laps tonight. Scheduled was 100, so we had the 1 green white checkered attempt. However, Bud Steele able to get it done tonight. Only the 4 cautions for 20 laps as well. Same for a track that you got 22nd laps. I mean, that's pretty impressive. These things are not the easiest things to drive around this track, especially as quick as everything's going. Easy to have issues and everything like that. So again, great job by them. Hats off to all the drivers here tonight. So again, hope you all enjoyed the race. I'll be back tomorrow night for the 87 Cup Series, and then again on Thursday for the Cup Series, and of course we'll round out the week on Sunday for the Super Speedway Cup Series. So until tomorrow evening, hope you all have a wonderful night, and yeah, if you can, of course, please remember to try to stay home, stay safe, wash your hands, and until tomorrow, take care and have a good night.